Damien Bartonek here on behalf of Fox West Texas and the official host of MMA Monday, the only MMA show in San Angelo. Now today I'm joined by a top 15 middleweight, someone that just cleaned up Joaquin Buckley at the last UFC event. This was actually on the 20th, so the 21st we got UFC Rio, but I'm interviewing him on the 20th. I was there in person to see it. My man, the action man himself, Chris Curtis. Chris, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. Out here living life. Sorry, interview y'all. Well, living great, man. Out here living life. Just trying to be healthy. I'm outside a massage place waiting to get a massage now, so life is good.
I don't know. When I was prepping for this interview, I was like, I just got to ask off the top because he just had a fight last weekend. And you seem to be the only guy that makes Sean Strickland, I feel like he's so comfortable being himself around you. I can definitely tell the love is very real between y'all. So tell me a little bit about that friendship, man. What makes it so special and so unique?
Oh, man, I love and hate them both, man. Sean, I met Sean about 7 years ago, I think. 7 years ago when I went to go train at Team Quest out in Temecula. Mm-hmm. And Sean was there already. And, we first met, we were brawling hard, trying to kill each other in the room. And that's how we kind of became friends. But Sean is a friend. So here's the fun thing. Most of Sean's close friends are people he's gotten into real fist fights with. And we've been kicked out of 3 gyms, fist fighting each other. Not sparring, but gloves came off, punches were thrown. This happened we've been kicked out of 3 gyms together for doing this. So, he's lived with me before. We've lived together. He's one of those guys. Take Sean. You have to take Sean at honestly, take him at face value. That's just who he is. He's always going to be himself. And I accept him for it, man. He's kind of out there. He does his own thing. But Sean's also, I'll say, Sean's not a nice guy, but he's a good guy. He'll give you the shirt off his back if he has to. He'll give you shit for having to take the shirt. But he'll give you a shut off his back, man. He's not a nice guy, but he's a good guy.
I can definitely tell that too. Whenever he talks about you, especially I remember I watched the interview with Helen Yee, and I'm not going to repeat what he was saying, but he was.
The man has anytime he's saying anything, everything Sean says is a backhanded compliment at best.
Yeah. He was like my best friend Chris Curtis, and then just goes on to tell.
Because He can't. I don't. He's getting better, but we're working on him being Sean. It's okay to be positive reinforcement. He doesn't do well with positive reinforcement, so he's getting there. It's
better. A work in progress. But
he's more human now than he's ever been. So I take full credit for that.
As you guys are gladiators, you say humans, gladiators, whatever you want to call it. You guys are special, right? And I find your story very fascinating because I read that you aspired to be a lawyer and then that you dropped out of law school to pursue MMA. I mean, you're talking about 2 completely different fields here. What was that process like, and what did your family think of you essentially moving on from law school?
I didn't get to that point. I wanted to be a lawyer. I'm okay, we're gonna start doing that. I'm doing all of my stuff to where I want to get into law school, start doing that stuff, and then I'm reading a book on contractual law one day, and in a class. I don't know what the class was. And I'm just I don't know if I want to do this the rest of my life. To where I was fighting already then, and I think I was amateur at the time. And I'm just I don't know if I really want to do this the rest of my days, man, because I could do it. It comes easy to me. I think I could have went on to become a lawyer. They would have been pretty good at it. But at the same time, I'm I don't think that I have it in me to give up what I've wanted to do my entire life to do this. So we had to make a choice, and I went home that day. I, took all my stuff home, and I'm just you know what? I'm just gonna go at this full time, 100%. And I'll put my eggs in this basket. And everybody's "Oh, is that smart?" I was I don't know. I think I know lawyers who've never really done anything with their lives and who've failed, who are washed out. So I could pursue that. I could try to become a lawyer and take a risk, or try to become a fighter and take a risk. Everything you do is going to be a risk. I might as well take a risk on something I want to do.
I saw that you had 2 professional boxing fights in your career, if I'm not mistaken. So tell me about that, because do you ever want to box again, professionally at any?
Boxing. I love boxing. I miss it. But, right now I've kind of threw my eggs in my MMA basket. But boxing was where, my first real martial art I kind of got into back in the day. So, I mean, for me, I would love to get back into it, but right now, I've got such a big investment in MMA. I spent so much time getting here, getting to this point. Like, it's hard to walk away from. I love boxing. I follow
Yeah.
boxing way closer than I follow MMA.
Did you have a favorite boxer growing up, or any specific favorites?
Dempsey, Julio Cesar Chavez, Pernell Whitaker. I'm from Cincinnati, so Ezra
Yeah.
Charles. I'm a huge Ken Norton fan. Alexis Arguello. Like, I mean, I was a huge boxing guy. So
And I grew up, myself, like I grew up in a Hispanic household. My mom was a single mother. I have 4 other siblings. My dad, his parents are immigrants from the Ukraine and the Czech Republic. So I grew up watching a lot of boxing, a lot of the Klitschko's as well. But man, I'm an MMA guy, man. I practiced jiu-jitsu myself. I was kickboxing, dude, and I'm not gonna lie, I was talking to my friend the other day about it. I was like, man, the one fighter that brought me to MMA was Josh Koscheck, bro, in 2009. That was one of my favorite fighters, bro.
Vitor Belfort, Wanderlei Silva, and Robbie Lawler were the reasons why I started.
Bro, and it's so funny because those are all great fighters, but for me, it was Josh Koscheck. He fought for the belt a few times, and everyone hated him, and I think that's why I liked him because everyone hated.
I loved Koscheck. Like he was.
I want to talk one more about your journey really quick. I saw you had a really interesting quote on ESPN a couple years ago where you were actually about to start enjoying your retirement, eating some chicken and waffles, and then I believe the PFL manager came up to you and said you needed to fill in for a fight, or asked if you could. Now, first, great choice on the chicken and waffles, but what's something that makes you so engaged and invested in the sport, especially when you were so close to being all right, that's it?
It becomes at that point. So going into that fight, I remember I had 5 minutes to get dressed and get wrapped. I'm warming up as they're wrapping my hands, and I'm warming up as we're walking out, trying to get ready. And I knew that mentally I wasn't there and everything else. At the same time, it's one of those moments to where this is what I do. And I was 95% sure it was going to end in tragedy. I was like, oh, it's a terrible idea. But at the same time, I'm a fighter, man. What happens if you take a chance? I don't know how many times I've taken a chance and failed. More than I can count. I failed more than I can count. But there's also so many times where I've taken chances and been successful. So you never know. And you're I want to walk away and be done. But you're what if this is it, man? Because sometimes you just gotta roll the dice and just go. Now that night I was you know what, I'm just gonna roll the dice and go. Came up snake. We did not get 7s on that one, but it happens, man.
Yeah.
There are sometimes where I've done things I should never have been able to do. I've pulled off impossible things. I've also fallen flat on my face. It happens. So take the good with the bad.
You closed out 2022 on a bang. Like I said, I was there in attendance. I saw it. My brother-in-law, Corey, shout out to him. He's a big Buckley fan. And I told him, man, Chris Curtis is going to clean him up. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Corey. I said Chris Curtis is gonna clean him up. But now you're at full health. You're number 14 in the rankings. What are some of your goals for 2023? What are some things you want to accomplish?
I just want to get paid. I just want to fight. I just want to get paid. I want to just fight. I'm 35 now. I'll be 36 this year. So I'm getting older. I'm recovering a little bit slower. And it sucks, man. I think I work harder than most anybody in this sport. But even now, I can kind of feel that, my body's changing. It's different. So it's weird I went from being the 19-year-old kid in the room to being the old man in the room. And it's so strange, man. It's such a strange feeling to where you're one of the old timers now. And I know that I've got a time limit going on. I got a time limit on my career left. So now I just want to make the money that, I wanted to be making for all these 15 years. But even more so than the money, man, I just want to have some good fights. I want to go. I figure I've got 3 to 4 good years left in me. I want to go as far as I can. My biggest thing in this entire everything, even my son's mom, when she supported me to do this, is understanding that as much as I want to take care of myself and make sure my son's taken care of, and everything, one of the even bigger than that has always, because if it was just about taking care of my son, I could have gone to being go work a 9-to-5 job and be stable. But one of the biggest things that I've always wanted to know for me I think honestly, I think every man, even a lot of women now these days, as kids have wondered, like what does it mean to be strong? Like how strong can I be? Like how far can I go? And at 35, I'm getting a bit more financially stable for the first time ever. Things are in place, but I've never lost that drive and that desire, and I need to know how strong I can be. So for 2023, I just want to keep going, man. I have to see how far I can go. If I can make it to a belt one day, it'd be the greatest thing ever. If not, I'm okay with that, because as long as I can look myself in the eyes and say I gave it everything, I went as far as I can go, and this is it, then I'll be happy.
Man, yeah, that's a beautiful way to end it, and I think that's something that we can all kind of take as well, because I'm in the same boat. Like, my dream is to one day be on, major sports networks, ESPN, CBS, NBC. But if I never get there, I know it's not because I didn't put everything I had into it, and I think I can go to sleep at night knowing that, hey, I did everything I possibly could.
It's a big change in clarity and maturity I found when you realize that becomes. Like it's really has become about how I'm gonna give it everything I can, and like I'm not afraid of failing anymore.
Same.
I was always afraid of not knowing.
Exactly.
And so yeah, if I'm gonna fail in fights, I'm gonna lose. I'm an emotional dude. It's fine, but I get over it. I pick myself up. I always showed my son, it's okay. I pick myself up. I fall down. It's fine. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, Chris, that's awesome, because I'm the same way. Like, wrapping this up here, man. I always tell people I don't care about what happens to me in life, win, lose, or draw, life or death. I just want my hand held all the way home, man. I don't. I'm just,
Damn straight. I love that.
I put everything I have into it, and I live with the results. But honestly, man, this was really, really fun. Like I said, it was a really quick chat. I appreciate you for sitting down with me and taking time out of your day. Now get that massage, my friend. It was an honor to sit down with you. But please feel free, before you leave, let the fans know what you got going on, what to look out for in 2023.
I'm just gonna go. What do I say before we fight? Here we go, killing again. So let's just go do it. Nothing scheduled yet, but hopefully very, very, very soon we'll have some big fight news, and we'll just try to keep climbing those rankings and see where our ceiling is.
Fox West Texas and MMA Monday. I'm Damien Bartonek, signing out.